Okay, normally I get to catch the I get to catch the pay-per-views at Buffalo Wild Wings. They had a problem, didn't get a chance to order it, so I got to do the old-fashioned catch bits and pieces on streams. So let's get right to it. Start with the scramble match, which was a bizarre curtain jerker when you've got matches like Khali Ziggler. And scramble matches always very good. They seem to do a pretty good job, and keeping it fresh. Title going back and forth, and Dreamer retained, which is good. Then of course the next match was the Mysterio Jericho match. Again, I don't see why you don't want to go for your Khali Dolph Ziggler match. And Mysterio gets to keep his mask and is the new Intercontinental Champion. So currently I am 1-for-1 on these. Khali Ziggler, it wasn't announced until Friday. You can tell how important that match is. No DQ, no countout. Ends up ending with, Kane helping to level Khali with a chair. Ziggler getting the pin. So I guess Ziggler's now undefeated against the great Khali at pay-per-views. Not that it really matters. The Unified Tag Team match. This one was kind of bizarre because since Jericho was complaining, they put Jericho and Edge in this match with the Colognes, as well as Legacy. And of course, the team that won, in what seems like a really kind of, brief match, Edge and Chris Jericho are the new Unified Tag Team Champions. I don't know how I feel about that, but, that means we can see Edge and Jericho on every single show defending the belts against anybody. Maybe they'll defend the belts against the Hart Dynasty? And that could actually be fairly impressive, to see just a straight all, Canadian one. Now we get to go to the WWE Women's Championship match between Melina and Michelle McCool. And of course, Michelle McCool won, becoming the first woman to be the Divas and the WWE Women's Champion. Now, people complain about Triple H, getting more preferential treatment because of, who he's married to. And here we have another direct representation of Michelle McCool getting real preferential treatment because she's dating The Undertaker. So now, as opposed to seeing somebody like, Beth Phoenix or Mickie James being the first person to have held both titles, it's Michelle McCool. Yeah, she didn't win clean, but still, that'd be like being the first undisputed champion. Personally, I think it really does devalue the women's title. I know they try to say that the two of them are interchangeable, but one belt has history and the other does not. So essentially, you cheapen one title to try to make the other one seem better. I don't get it. Okay, now the Hardy Punk match. I was looking forward to this one to see if this is when CM Punk would go entirely heel, or if we're still going to see him try to work kind of like tweener role. And essentially in this one, what ended up happening was it came down to, Punk retained, but Jeff won by DQ. Punk went for a GTS, raked the eyes. Punk really, he really kind of held his eyes like, something's really wrong. And then inadvertently kicked the ref, got a DQ. And now we go to the other of the triple main event. Cena versus The Miz. This was a pretty standard John Cena match. He took some abuse early on, and then just dominated, and completely and totally just destroyed The Miz. Attitude adjustment, STF. I mean, with how much they built Miz up for this, to essentially, not have John Bennett win by DQ or count out, no. Attitude adjustment, STF, got him tagged. Now I got 3 stages of hell. Straight up wrestling, In this sort of match, I understand trying to lose that first fall if you can really injure your opponent. And that's pretty much about the way this comes off. You know. H hit Orton with a steel chair. Orton DQ. 1-0. False count anywhere. Hey, you got a steel chair in your hand, your opponent's kind of busted up. Beat him with a steel chair. It's now 2 up. Stretcher match. I was hoping to see if Orton would try to win this one clean. And then I forgot, oh wait a minute, it's Orton. This is almost right up his alley, He's got 2 lackeys that can help him out, and this match all of a sudden becomes tailor-made for what he wants to do with it. And of course, that's what actually ends up happening. Cody and Ted get involved. H gets knocked out of the stretcher, rolls past the line. That's it. Randy Orton retained. And then H beats the crap out of him some more. Now, knowing that Kurt Angle recently became a 13-time champion, and how much TNA was pushing that, there was lots of buzz that this would be H's time to get back at it. But now seeing how outside interference, allowed Orton to retain the belt, this could also be used to push them more towards a Hell in a Cell, probably sometime near late August, which I think is SummerSlam. So, for those of you who were like, Orton's going to retain, I was like, it's kind of half and half with that, because you had the belt changing hands so many times, and then all of a sudden you just had, like, every month it was changing hands. Sometimes, I think you had Orton lose it to Batista, then 2 weeks later Orton was officially rewarded the title, and then like 2 weeks later you end up having a match between Orton and H for the belt. So, looking back at it as a whole, again, it's keeping up with the lots of titles changed hands, women's title changed hands, tag belt changed hands, and the IC title changed hands. So, all the main belts stayed, but all the minor belts that are up for grabs, all those changed. So, really a pretty good one. I wish I could have seen it, but my Buffalo Wild Wings in Bradley, Illinois had some problems, decided to not actually order the event, and, that's about it for that. So,